Hey there, I'm Chris Carlisle, and you're listening to the Highways and Byways podcast. It's a podcast about Texas. This week, I'll look at some of the country music stars from Texas, places you can go to in Brownwood, places you can eat shrimp in Texas, what happened in Texas in 1966, and more. First, here are some current events. They had Super Tuesday for this year's presidential election. We took part in it here in Texas. I voted early. Anyway, President Joe Biden won the Democrat primary, while former President Donald Trump won the Republican primary. One of Texas' Senate seats is up. Senator Ted Cruz, running for re-election, won the Republican primary. Congressman Colin Allred from Dallas won the Democratic primary. In case you didn't know, back in 1989, I worked as a DJ at a radio station in Cameron, Texas. It had a country music format. Country music is a popular genre in Texas, and a lot of its biggest stars have come from Texas. And of course, we play their songs on the station. Such stars as George Strait, George Jones, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers, Tanya Tucker, Charlie Pratt, Larry Gatlin, Robert Mandrell, and Roy Orbison. We ran a show that had concerts recorded at Gillies in Pasadena. The station went off the air later that year. Some current stars from Texas are Leanne Womack, Miranda Lambert, Wade Bowen, Tracy Bird, Casey Musgraves, and Pat Green. And there was pioneers like Bob Wills, Ray Price, and Gene Autry. My grandma on my dad's side grew up in Mills County, not far from Brownwood. She passed away when he was little. Her name was Myrtilla Aldridge. Now, there are some places you can go to in Brownwood. I watched an episode of The Day Tripper from there from a few months ago on YouTube. They went to Underwood's Barbecue, the Brown County Museum. It's got a log cabin, an old telephone switchboard, and a tribute to Camp Bowie from World War II. They went to the Lannis Railroad Museum. It has some miniature train setup, some old train cars, including a caboose. I remember when trains had cabooses. Yeah, I'm that old. And they went to Lake Brownwood State Park. Its recreation hall was built by the Civil Conservation Corps during the 1930s. It has a nice view of Lake Brownwood. They went and ate at a restaurant called Lucille and Mabel's. Okay, here are some places you can eat shrimp in Texas. First, there's the old Jody's in Temple. I ate shrimp there last week. The Day Tripper was there filming last week also. I told the show's host, Chuck Gunner, that my mom used to watch it. There was also Dead Fish Grill in Melton, Texas-based seafood and steak in Taylor, and the Cajun Crab and Shrimp Bar and Grill in Harker Heights. Now, here's what happened in Texas back in 1966. A sniper shooting from the UT Tower killed 14 people and wounded 33. A young man from Bridge City became a page for a congressman. The Sabine River was threatening to overflow. They had a United Way campaign in Burleson. There were floods in Dallas. Farm workers went on strike. Mrs. Lyra Thomas, widow of Congressman Albert Thomas, Democrat from Houston, when elections finished his term. She was the first woman from Texas to be elected to Congress. She didn't run for a seat in the 1966 midterm. The Texas Westerns men's basketball team won the 1965-66 national championship. The first steak and ale restaurant opened. World-class championship wrestling started as big-time wrestling in Dallas. Muhammad Ali beat Cleveland Williams in a match in the Astrodome to retain the world heavyweight title. The SMU men's basketball team were the 1965-1966 Southwest Conference champions. The Arlington State football team won a share of the 1966 Southland Conference title. The Texas Longhorns beat Ole Miss in the 1966 Bluebonnet Bowl. The Cowboys lost to the Packers in the 1966 NFL title game. The East Texas State football team won the 1966 Lone Star Conference championship. The Lamar Tech football team won a share of the Southland Conference title for 1966. The North Texas State football team won a share of the 1966 Missouri Valley Conference championship. SMU football won the 1966 Southwest Conference title. The Texas Longhorn baseball team won the 1966 Southwest Conference title. Texas Southern football team won a share of the 1966 SWAC title. The 1966 high school football state champions for Texas were San Angelo Central for Class 4A, Bridge City for Class 3A, Sweeney for Class 2A, and Sonora for Class A. The 1966 elections, in the Texas governor's election, Governor John Connally was reelected to a third term. In the U.S. Senate election, Senator John Tower was reelected to a second term. Susan K. Logan from Lubbock was crowned Miss Texas, and her first daughter, Lucy Baines Johnson, got married. Before I go, here's a few things. There's a Bible verse. It's from Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 to 23. And it says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." There's something from the Texas Standard. It's a quote from Alisto Charlton, and it says, "In the covered wagon days, if a baby is born in Texarkana while the family is crossing into Texas, by the time they reach El Paso, the baby will be in the third grade." And from comedian Ron White, who's from French, he says, "I didn't get where I am today by worrying about how I'd feel tomorrow." With that, I'm going to head on out. I want to thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, hit the download button, hit the like button, and follow or subscribe. I'm Chris Carlisle, and I'll see you later.